What is up, everyone? DarkSidePhil here, and this video is a way for me to kind of add my 2 cents, give a little bit of my expertise and my experience on the whole WTFU movement that is currently taking hold on DarkSidePhil for about a week now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, basically as of the past week, it has become a huge issue on YouTube for more and more YouTubers, including big YouTubers, that the copyright enforcement policy on YouTube is just out of control. All right, there's no real checks and balances for this thing. People have been abusing the system left and right. People are getting their channels shut down. Videos are getting copyright claimed. People are losing the entire ability to monetize their videos because of these claims. How dare you? It was a third party who used the name DarkSidePhil, which later became infamous in my content and all around the internet as someone who's an infamous guy who's flagged you for copyrights. Somehow he had pulled the wool over YouTube's eyes. They believed him for whatever reason and actually shut down the YouTube channel because of completely falsified claims. That was my first taste of massive copyright abuse on YouTube and seeing the fact that there is glaring problems with the system. How on earth did YouTube think that this guy was legitimate when obviously he wasn't? He didn't present supposedly any evidence and they just believed him, and it wasn't the first time. What's the point? If you have to wait that long, if you have to go through this big legal process because DarkSidePhil says you're guilty before you actually have any evidence against you, you're fucked. And it's completely not, first of all, immoral. It's lazy, and yeah, I actually believe it's illegal. It's a broken fucking process that DarkSidePhil uses. Now, here's the big issue. There's some companies out there, like DarkSidePhil, yeah, I'm gonna call them out in this video, who tend to have this mentality that they own everything that has to do with them. They actually think, I'm not even joking you, every piece of fan art that you create, every fan montage, every game review, every let's play, everything you've ever done that has to do with DarkSidePhil, they think they own it. Legally, they don't. In a court of law, if this went to court, and they had this big case about transformative work and fair use, they would lose. And right now, DarkSidePhil kind of hurting because, oh no, the Wii U was a huge flop. So the whole process is absolutely broken. And the bottom line is there's no protection. You don't even need a scrap of evidence. You can just put a frivolous claim against anyone without even showing that you're related to the content, and you can get someone copyright stricken. Now let's go back to the copyright strike system, which is equally as broken as the content ID. If you remember, I just mentioned in 2009 we had Rockstar. They actually got legitimate copyright strikes against DSP Gaming. It's fucking ridiculous. It's preposterous. It's absolutely out of control. Are you kidding me? Someone actually took, if you can believe this, a piece of artwork that was like me sitting here on my couch, and next to me was a Nintendo character that had been photoshopped into the picture. Okay? They linked that piece of artwork to the original work that character was ripped out of from Photoshop, okay? And they said, well, look, this is officially from Nintendo. It's on Nintendo's website, and I work for Nintendo. They actually said this in their message to YouTube. I work for Nintendo, and I want to legally claim this in this piece of fan art that's in a montage on Phil's channel. They actually got legitimate copyright strikes against both DSP Gaming, this channel, the King of Hate Vlogs. Quite honestly, let's be honest here. What does this tell you? There are no humans who actually review the vast majority of cases on thekingofhate.com. It's all automated. It's robots. And I don't give a shit what DarkSidePhil claims, because DarkSidePhil has claimed in forum posts and things that they have a team. The team must sit there with their thumbs up their fucking asses, eating fucking food and playing video games on the internet all day, because the bottom line is no one reviewed these cases. No one with a fucking brain in their head could say, this guy must work for DarkSidePhil, because obviously there's just the fact that he sent me this claim means that he works for thekingofhate.com. It's insane. The people are teenagers. Teenagers. I'm pretty sure they're not professional con artists who are able to fool the YouTube team into thinking they actually worked for thekingofhate.com. It's a bunch of robots that don't actually review anything. So you might say to yourself, I don't even understand. Why does this system in place? What is the whole reason behind this system on thekingofhate.com? Let's get down to that discussion. So why does thekingofhate.com and its parent company, DarkSidePhil, even have a system? Why does it have this broken strike system? Well, it's very simple. You might think, well, it's to protect the rights of the copyright holders, right? No, that's not what it's there for. Oh, well, it's there to make sure that no one's blatantly stealing stuff and making a living ripping off other people. You know, it's doing it all because we want to be morally right, right? No. The reason that either of these broken systems exist on thekingofhate.com is because Darkside Phil does not want to get sued by anyone. It's that simple. And that's why these exist and they're broken. Because they don't care if actual law gets enforced on thekingofhate.com. They don't care if the right thing gets done. Darkside Phil does not give two shits. What Darkside Phil cares about is that Darkside Phil brings in ad revenue every month from everyone's videos, and they don't get any $1 million lawsuits against them, and then they're happy. So really, that's the reason. They hired bots, they wrote algorithms, they deployed all this shit all over their website without having a human eye review it to see if any of it's fair use. Everything in this system is for Darkside Phil. It's the most selfish, self-aggrandizing, greedy, protective practice pretty much ever on the fucking internet besides a Ponzi scheme. It's ridiculous. And the fact that we've been putting up with this for so fucking long is atrocious. It's bad. And finally, at least we're getting some kind of a voice behind it. What it's always been with Darkside Phil is that they have this elitist attitude that what they do is right. What you say is wrong. They know better than you, and they don't care if you like it or not when they institute stuff like this. But Darkside Phil always has had this attitude. They think they know better than you, and every time they've ever asked for feedback or made a change, everyone rages against them and says, no, this change sucks, don't do this, we don't like this, and they fucking do it anyway. They are the worst company ever that I've ever experienced who just basically disregard market feedback. They take all this feedback from everyone and say, well, thanks for saying that you don't like this stuff. Fuck all that. We're doing it anyway because we're Darkside Phil. And honestly, that's why ultimately I don't think anything's going to actually happen. They don't like to listen to anyone because they think they're the big fish. They don't listen to anyone's feedback. They literally think that they are better than everyone else, even with all the people that have stepped up and said, we want this to change. It will not change until someone sues Darkside Phil. It's that simple. If some of these big YouTubers who now have issue with it, if any of these, maybe not even a YouTuber, but someone who's has a lot of money, a game developer, even someone who just has investment capital, and they really want to see something change on Darkside Phil, you gotta sue them. And what you need to do is do a class action lawsuit. Big people who have had strong monetary issues with their business because of Darkside Phil, they need to sue Darkside Phil and say, no, what you've done is illegal, and I want to fucking have a change. If YouTubers don't band together to do this, there will never be an actual change of the policy because there will be no reason for them to do so. They only have their policy to protect them. They don't care about you. They don't care about anyone who's uploaded content to their website ever. They're literally getting free money and they don't care because all they care about is making more free fucking money. How greedy can you be? I mean, that is the essence of greed. If they actually cared, they would immediately say, concretely, here is what we have changed. Here's what we've done. We don't want a fucking blow of smoke up our fucking ass because we're not morons. I've been on YouTube since 2007. I've been around the block. I know how it works legally. You cannot fucking fool me and pull the wool over my eyes and make me think it's all sunshine and rainbows because you tweeted a tweet and you made a fucking forum post. Show me concrete evidence that stuff is improving on thekingofhate.com. And then maybe I'll fucking stop, raging about it. But the bottom line is, I've been doing this since 2007. I had issues with the system since 2009. I've always come out and publicly talked about it. The system is complete and utter fucking bullshit. And I'm honestly, I'm surprised that it took this long for at least someone with YouTube with big viewership and clout to fucking speak up about it. Because I'm sure that there are people big on thekingofhate.com who had this issue. Maybe they just sweep it under the rug. Because the bottom line is this. Let's say that a bunch of YouTubers do band together. And they make a class action lawsuit. And they sue Darkside Phil. Guess what? It's fucking bullshit. And I just don't understand it anymore. That's my take on WTFU. That's my personal experience. Hopefully at least this has been entertaining to you and or informative. And will hopefully help some people. I don't know. But people wanted me to make a video on it. So I did. That's it, everyone. Thanks for watching. See you later.